Hey, boys and girls, it is Thursday and it is about a little after 12 o'clock. And I am going to read to you from our story that we've been listening to. But before I do that, I sent your parents a math problem yesterday. I don't think it was too hard, but but we're going to go over that. And then today I'll send you another one. But I have this little whiteboard that I have at my house. So we've been talking about decimals recently, and so I just want to go over a couple of the problems. This is what your paper looked like, and mine I just went ahead and kind of scribbled it out on my whiteboard here. So the first problem looked like this. Now we know that these are split into tenths. We know that because if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there are 10 parts. If we were to write that as a fraction, we would write that as 2 tenths, which we know. Now, if we look over here at our little place value chart that we have, we know we have 0 ones or no wholes whatsoever. This is just a part. And then we have 2 tenths. So if we were to write this as a decimal, we would write 0 and 2 tenths. Okay, so that's your first problem. All right, so let's take a look at the second problem. I didn't want to write my tenths twice, so I figured I would just color it in. And you know what I do, I just kind of scribble stuff in. The next one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we have 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we would write this one as 6 tenths. And since this is the tenths place, which is one place to the right of the decimal point, we would write the 0 and 6 tenths. Okay? All right, now we're going to go down to number 3. Number 3, wow, hundredths is not something you want to make very often. It's really a lot. But you can see here that we have 10 hundredths here. We have 20 hundredths here, and then we have 1, 2, 3 here. So there are 100 here. So you would write that 23 hundredths. Okay. Now looking at our place value chart that we have up here, we have no wholes. We have nothing that is a whole number here. We only have a fraction or a part of something. We have 2. We would call these tenths, but we're going to call it 23 hundredths. So we have 2 tenths. If you were to compare, 2 tenths and 20 hundredths are the same thing. Okay, so we have 2 tenths, and then we have 3 hundredths there. So we would write that 0 and 23 hundredths. Okay, so that's how we would write the second one. All right. So now we're going to go into the next problem. And this problem has more here. So I'm going to color in some more of these. Again, you could call this 3 tenths, but you could also call it 30 hundredths, because 3 tenths is the same thing as 30 hundredths. But since it's split into hundredths, we're going to call it 30 hundredths. And then I need to add 1, 2 more of those. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 500 or 5 tenths. Or we could also call this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 hundredths. But then we've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that gives us 58 hundredths. So let's count that again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. So this would be called 58 hundredths as a fraction. And then as a decimal, let me write it down here on the bottom, we would write this 0 and 53 hundredths. And that's how you would write that. And that is the answer to the problem from yesterday. Today I'll send you another one. I might make it a little more challenging than this, but at least you're getting an idea of what we're doing with our decimals, okay? All right. Now I'm going to transition over here, move my whiteboard down here, and I'm going to, my daughter let me borrow her markers. She said, make sure you give them back. So I will make sure I do that. All right. So now we're going to read a chapter from our story. I'm going to turn my phone off because I'm getting text messages. All right. So let me get comfy. Hopefully you can get comfy. And we're going to read from chapter 23. So yesterday when we read, oh yes, they were practicing. They were practicing for their quiz team thing. So today is the day of the competition. So let's find out what happens. The day of the actual competition dawns bright and chilly. I shiver in the early March air as Mrs. V and I wait for my school bus. My jacket feels good. We've decided to use the manual chair today since the electric one, even with the car ramps, is a little too heavy for Mom to handle on her own. You ready, Mellow Yellow? Mrs. V asks me. Oh, yeah. Your head feel like it's going to pop with all those facts stuck inside? She teases. Oh, yeah. I grin at her. You'll do fine. Better than fine. Dynamite. Possibly awesome, Mrs. V says. Oh, yeah. I push again. We'll all be downtown in the audience cheering you on. And the team? There are others on the team? She asks, smacking herself on the forehead. I thought you were a solo act. And teams from other schools? Don't worry, you're smarter than all of them put together. So we'll be cheering the loudest, your mom and dad and me and Penny. Do I look okay? Mrs. V looks me up and down. Like a television star, she replies. Your mom tucked an extra glass in your bag just in case. Catherine knows what to do. I'm glad Catherine will be going with us, and I think Mr. Dimming is glad as well. Now, tell me the plan again, I type. Your mom will pick you up from school, take you to get a bite to eat, and get you to the TV studio about 15 minutes before the rest of the contestants. Penny and your dad and I will meet you there. TV folks won't freak out when I show up. They are well prepared for you. Actually, it's possible a few reporters might be there and want to talk to you. Me? Why? I can't imagine why any newspaper would want to talk to somebody who can only talk through a machine. How boring. You're a wonderful human interest story. Other people might be interested in knowing more about you. They won't make fun of me? Just the thought of it makes my palms sweaty. Mrs. V takes my hand in hers. Not at all. They'll admire you, I'm sure. You are Spalding Street Elementary School's own personal Stephen Hawking. They're lucky. Hope so. Oh, here's your bus. Have a great day, Melody. I'll see you tonight. I managed to get through the day without spilling anything on my clothes, and I'm relieved to see Mom when the last bell rings at school. After a quick meal of macaroni and applesauce in the car, smart Mom, nothing red, we head downtown. We find a handicapped parking spot right in front of the studio, and after the usual unloading the chair down the car ramp, seating me and strapping me in, then attaching Elvira, we roll inside. The receptionist, a chunky, pleasant woman with lots of makeup and frizzy hair, directs us to the staging area. I have to blink a little to figure it all out. Everything you see on TV is fake. I see the place where they film the news. When I watch it on TV at home, it looks like the reporters are sitting in front of a huge window that shows all of downtown. But it's just a painting, and it's pretty small. So is the desk where the reporters sit. It seems so much bigger from home. I recognize a couple of the reporters who I watch every day. I can't believe how skinny the morning lady is. On TV, she looks normal sized. I'm going to look like a huge balloon when the cameras show me. Speaking of cameras, they are huge, like giant black mechanical space beings on wheels. Guys with headphones and women with clipboards run around checking stuff. The back part of the studio is dark, but the place where the contest will take place is lit brightly. I can see where the teams will stand and the big buttons they'll push for the answers. In another room, behind all the cameras and the action, are the benches where the audience sits. Some people have already started to file in. I can see them through a glass window. I jump when Catherine taps me on the shoulder. Fascinating, huh? For real, I type. She and Mom chat a bit before a man wearing jeans and a Cincinnati Bengals sweatshirt approaches us. "Excuse me," he says to me, "but are you Melody Brooks?" Surprised, I quickly hit yes. "My name is Paul, and I'm the stage manager." His huge hand swallows mine as he shakes it. "I'm glad you're here early. Let's see if we have you set up correctly. We're really glad to have you participate." He spoke directly to me, not Mom or Catherine. Oh, I like him right away. We roll across the studio, careful to avoid cords and wires, and enter the area where the competition will take place. "This is where the members of each team will stand," he explains. "They each have 4 large buttons to push. Red is for the letter A, blue is for the letter B, yellow is for the letter C, and D, of course, is green." I nod. "And here, Miss Melody, is where you will sit, right next to your teammates. I have rigged a special answer board for you, so it's adjusted to the height of your wheelchair." He looks pretty proud of himself as he shows me the setup. "Wow," I type. "This is perfect. How do you know? Or how did you know?" "My son is in a wheelchair," he says with a shrug. "I build stuff for Rusty all the time, but there's no way he could do what you're about to do." He kneels down so he can look me in the eye. "Knock their socks off, champ. Rusty will be watching." "Okay," I type, "for Rusty." He rolls me behind my answer board and lets me practice with the 4 color-coded buttons. Because they're so large, hitting the right one is actually easier than using my Medi-Talker. I don't even have to aim with my thumb. I can use my whole fist. When I hit the red button, the letter A lights up on the screen in front of me to lock in the answer. "Thanks, Paul, very, very much." He winks, gives all the buttons a quick punch to make sure they all light up, then tells me he'll see me later. I can do this, I tell Mom and Catherine. I'm ready. The rest of our team starts to arrive. Connor, dressed in a black suit with a red tie, actually looks good. Rose, blushing and nervous, is wearing pale blue. "Hi, Melody. Are you scared?" "Nope, not at all," I type. "My mom made me wear this tie," Connor complains as he rolls his finger inside his shirt collar to loosen it. "I hope I don't choke on live TV." If he does, at least the attention will be on him instead of me. What if I do something stupid, or I start to drool when the camera does a close-up? Amanda, Rodney, Molly, and Elena, the alternates, look a little sad as they wander around the studio. They won't get a chance to participate unless something happens to disqualify one of the 4 of us. I guess that includes Connor fainting or me convulsing. "Are you okay?" I hear Rose ask Amanda. "Yeah, but it's just like I'm all dressed up with nothing to do." "I feel ya," Rose says. "Break a leg," Amanda tells her. "Really?" Rose smiles. "That's what you're supposed to say for good luck," Amanda explains. "I know, but look at it this way. At the finals in Washington, there are 6 people on the team, so that opens things up a little. So go out there and win." "Will do." Claire and Molly make funny faces in front of the camera, pretending they're on air. Neither speaks to me. "Look, Claire," Molly says, her voice for once in awe of something. "You can see a reflection in that camera over there." "Do I look okay?" Claire asks, smoothing her dress. "You look great," Molly assures her. "You know, it really ought to be you up there instead of Melody," Claire says loud enough for me to hear. "Well, I'm ready if she messes up," Molly whispers back. I just shake my head and think, delete, delete, delete. No way am I letting their negativity mess me up. I have enough to worry about. Mr. Dimming hurries in then, wearing a brand new navy suit, a fresh white shirt, and a red vest and tie. The home team cheers, and Connor gives him a high five. He buzzes around for a bit like a nervous bumblebee. He checks on details, wishes us all good luck, then goes to sit in the observation area. No teachers are allowed near the students near the competition. Catherine is allowed to stand in the back behind the cameras just in case I have an emergency. Other teams start to fill the studio as well. One team from Green Hills Academy is all dressed in Kelly green sweaters. Not a bad idea, but the sweaters are ugly. Another team from Crown Elementary is wearing little fake crowns on their heads. That seems a bit over the top to me. Our team hasn't done anything special. They don't need to. They have me. All right, we're going to stop there. And tomorrow we will work on read chapter 24. And we'll find out what happens in the competition and whether they win or whether they don't win. Okay, so most of you, I sent a message out to your parents today about being able to get on home access to Epic. And I've gotten a lot of your parents' emails, which is great. If you're struggling with getting on to the online books on Epic, make sure that your parents send me their email, and then I can send them an invitation for free access to that. I wasn't aware that's the way that it was, but anyways, I really miss you guys, and I hope that you are having a great day, and I will chat with you all tomorrow. Okay, I love you.